Hey everybody, this is Chris DiFurio with Keys to the Shop. Welcome to another edition of Shift Break. Just a short episode on Thursdays to give you some tips and insights to help you in your business and career. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Today's episode is brought to you by Odeco. Doing ordering and inventory is absolutely crucial for your business to stay in business. And a lot of money is wasted with inaccurate processes. And let's face it, it's not the most fun job in the cafe. And this is where Odeco comes in to really help make it easy and accurate. What Odeco does is they use artificial intelligence to put your sales data to work. They couple past sales with local weather, events, and more to predict exactly what you're going to need in the future. Their virtual purchasing agent then automatically places the orders based on those predictions, which are over 90% accurate, and that's it. It's as easy as that. It's automated, centralized, and optimized ordering for your cafe or your cafes. If you're thinking about opening a second or third store and are concerned about the systems that you need to have in place to scale to that level, Odeco is a real relief to have on hand. Just one less thing for you to think about. So if you want to be one of the many companies who are saving time and money on their ordering and inventory with Odeco, then just go visit this website, odeco.com/keys to the shop. That's where you can go and try it out for yourself in your cafe, odeco.com/keys to the shop. Today's episode is also brought to you by the Ground Control Cyclops Brewer from Voga Coffee. The Ground Control Cyclops is a revolutionary coffee brewer that elevates your batch brew coffee above pour-over quality at scale. It is the winner of the SCA's Best New Product Award. The Ground Control really gives you unprecedented control over a broader range of flavors in your coffee than you ever thought possible. Now, I've personally been able to taste the difference that this machine makes on coffee just with minor adjustments. Unbelievable variation of flavor is achievable for all of your origins, so the batch brew coffee you produce will just get elevated so much higher than it is right now with the Ground Control Cyclops. This is really an easy machine to use too, and it's easy to train your staff on. So if you truly want to get the most out of your coffee and set your shop apart and your coffee apart, all while being able to visually engage your customers, then you're going to want to get a Ground Control Cyclops brewer in your store. To learn more and to do that, go visit their website, vogacoffee.com. That's VOGA coffee.com. Okay, so today I wanted to talk about the role of the manager as primarily a role of being able to facilitate success of the staff in the cafe. And this is true of anybody in leadership. If you're in a leadership position, your job is to facilitate the success of the people that you lead. So owners, this means your managers. And by virtue of supporting your manager and your manager supporting the staff, everybody gets taken care of. The mindset, though, the main thing that you think of every day that will make everything else fall into place is, how can I create an environment that is as little unnecessary friction as possible? There's not going to be a coffee bar that has no friction, that has no problems. But there are a lot of coffee bars out there who have a lot of unnecessary problems and dysfunctions that have just become normalized. We have a shift break about this, normalizing dysfunction. And that is just a consequence of a hand-to-mouth view of leadership. Now, I fully understand that managers oftentimes are not supported. They're not given the tools that they need to do the job well. And this is, again, why I'm bringing this to the doorstep of both owners and managers, because you're responsible for a group of people who are responsible for a series of tasks, a certain number of responsibilities that they are hired to do. And oftentimes what ends up happening is, because each person is sort of dropping the ball on being a facilitator of success for those that they lead, those leaders become just more concerned about surviving their own unique dysfunction. So managers are often stretched thin and would consider it a very big victory to just get the schedule out on time, let alone being able to have that hard talk with that one barista who you've just been meaning to talk to, let alone fix that problem on the bar that's been there for the last week and a half, let alone fill in the blank, whatever it is. We're really, again, living hand to mouth, and there's not a lot of margin to create room for facilitation of success of the people. Really, I think this comes down to ownership and creating a role of management that has flexibility to be responsive to the needs of the staff. And as an owner, you have to be able to put yourself in a position where you can be then also responsive to the needs of the manager, as they are the lifeline. They are the communication between you and what's going on in your business. So this is a mindset that all leaders in the cafe have to have. One, I am a facilitator of success of the people who work here. And two, how can I create enough margin in my role to be able to make good on that? Because if I don't do that on purpose, if I'm not disciplined in creating wiggle room and flexibility in my schedule to be responsive, then you're just time poor. You don't have any time to be able to facilitate success. So it's every person for themselves. Now, here's the beautiful thing about this concept of creating margin for facilitation of success of those you lead. It's that once you start practicing this value, this reality that the best management facilitates success, then those who are watching you do it, they'll want to be facilitators of success for each other, for themselves. They'll become proactive. They'll be self-managed more as they are managed well by you. When you see your staff start to take on the characteristics of people who value facilitating success for each other, then your job as a manager becomes a lot easier, because it's not going to all fall on you. People will start solving problems for themselves and letting you know about it later on. And you can breathe a sigh of relief. You gain more margin as a result of this. And your organization starts to have a lot more of a light atmosphere, but at the same time is even more productive, is even more effective, and has a deeper culture. And it is not strained. It all starts, though, with a disciplined pursuit of having margin in your role to create and facilitate success for those you lead. I think about the really popular book Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and its tagline is that essentialism is the disciplined pursuit of less. So it's the essential few versus the trivial many. And isn't that just perfect for this topic today? Because the trivial many is always there. It's always knocking at our door, taking our time away, and we're always kind of postponing that one thing that we know is going to move the needle, that we know we need to do, but these urgent but not important things are just knocking at the door. It starts again with the disciplined pursuit of creating margin, or as Essentialism says, the disciplined pursuit of less. When you have that wiggle room and that margin in your schedule, in your mind, from the very beginning, owners, setting this up for yourselves and your managers, then you're going to start seeing a culture where everybody is trying to facilitate each other's success. And that's the kind of culture that specialty coffee really thrives on. And it creates an amazing experience for the customer, because now they're going to receive an amazing experience in the coffee bar, because the owner, the manager, and the baristas are all looking out for the success of those that they are directly responsible for serving. And that comes right down to the customer. And this is one of those things that if we were going to choose one characteristic of our leadership, facilitation of success would be the main thing. So I hope that this episode was helpful for you today, and that this concept is something that you will take from here and then discuss with your leadership team. What is keeping you from really thriving in your position? How can I create more margin in your job as an owner of the business? How can I create for my managers more margin. Let's start this conversation in our coffee bars. Make it a real process. Make it something that you're dedicated to long term. Be patient with this taking shape, because maybe you've been doing different things for so long that you're just used to it. It's going to take some unlearning. The busyness that we're just used to is going to take some time to correct. So give it some time as you pursue this, and watch your business really take off when you make facilitating success one of the core values of your leadership. Thanks again for listening. Have an amazing day, and I will see you here next week on another edition of Shift Break, from Keys to the Shop.